Hi, Derek. How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful.
Long time no see. It's
Yeah,
been like what, a week?
maybe. Yeah,
We he also works at the Civic Center with Brandon
yeah.
and me. I'm like their boss. Ain't that right?
Sure. Well,
See, the joke is I'm not their boss.
no.
They are.
If you're feeling that, then you go right ahead.
So what do you do at the Civic Center?
I work in the office. I run the office. I used to be the administrative assistant, but that's kind of changed, and my title is client relations and box office manager. So I
I thought it was just box office manager.
no, I mean I do all the box office stuff, and I set that up and make sure that's on sale, and I sell tickets and stuff. But I also do like administrative work with like contracts for like local events that happen in there, and make sure that things get paid and
Oh,
stuff.
so you're money guy. You're the money guy.
Yes and no. I mean,
Yes and no.
as in like I just say this goes there.
How long have you worked there for?
8 years. I think this will be my eighth year. Thanksgiving.
What day? A Thanksgiving, like.
Yeah, I started mm, the week of Thanksgiving, and this year will be the eighth year.
Did you get like a holiday bonus for Thanksgiving?
No,
Oh.
it doesn't work that way.
What do you mean it doesn't work that way? It's a
It
holiday.
doesn't work that way.
What, do you get a bonus for
We
Christmas?
get Thanksgiving off.
Oh. What if someone wanted to like have a show on Thanksgiving? What would happen?
Probably not going to happen.
Why?
Because we're closed.
What if they pay money to perform on Thanksgiving?
I mean, anything's possible, but
Like if I wanted to perform anything and everything live at Marion Cultural and Civic Center,
sure.
how much would that cost to do it on
The
Thanksgiving?
price wouldn't be any different. It's just I don't know how your outcome of audiences would be for a holiday where people want to stay home and stuff themselves with food.
We'll have Thanksgiving there.
If that's what you're feeling.
Yeah. So what do you do like outside of Civic Center? Like what's your day to day life look like?
Well, I work till 5, and then when I'm not working at the Civic Center, I teach like music, theater, voice, piano, and I also direct, conduct, try to perform when I can.
What do you like mainly like? Who do you like conduct or direct or help that wise for?
I work with 2.5 groups, I guess you could say.
What are those groups?
Skyline Creek Productions is the main one that I work with, and we average like 3 shows a year. And I also work with Creative Fine Arts.
Yeah.
And then they're usually doing 2 shows a year or so.
Yeah, 'cause I know we've talked about creative with Jeff. We talked about creative with Jeff and Brandon, but we never really talked much about Skyline. So what is Skyline? Like what is?
So Skyline, we're basically community theater group that was formed a long time ago.
Like 11 years or something like
Maybe
that?
more than that. I think the first
Oh.
show, I want to say 2015, but Jeff would know this.
2015.
It's been a while because the first show that we did was Skyline is the company that does Rocky Horror Show Live.
Yeah.
And we're going on our 12th year. This year will be our 12th year.
So it wouldn't be 2015.
But 12 years from this year is what?
2012.
Maybe longer. Because Rocky was the first show that they did, and then after, I hope I don't get this right. Because I hope I get this right. Because if I don't, Jeff is going to be watching this and he's going to be messaging me, hating me. I'm just going to message. What is this? Oh no. Okay. It's not live. I was like, he's already messaging me. So
No, it actually is live. I put it on Instagram Live. Fun
Yeah.
fact.
So basically,
No.
we did Rocky first, and then after we did, I think Rocky was first. After Rocky happened, it was like, hey, we want to do another show, and so we put up a production of Les Miserables, which was the first in the area that no, it was done at a college. I think before, yes, it was done at a college, like
But like this was like the first like big stage, like...
Yeah, I mean, it was done at RLC, Ren Lake College.
Yeah.
It was done at RLC, but that was like when I first came to the area, because I remember going and seeing it.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about it. But
When did you first come to the area?
I started grad school at SIU in 2003.
Okay.
Yes, it was 2003, because I was in between grad schools and traveling and performing
Yeah.
before I came up here.
But you saw it at Red Lake College.
Yeah, it was like I don't remember much. I just remember going and seeing it because that was a long time ago. And then bippity boppity boo, we do it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty epic because I mean we had a giant orchestra and then I think it was about 48 people in the cast, I think. Fully costumed. I was Valjean. I was in the show. Brandon played Marius, however you want to say it.
Well, I'm not going to argue too much on how you say it. I pronounce it Les Mis. Mm-hmm. I was like Les Miserables.
Les Mis is the easy way to say it.
How do you say it?
Les Mis. Jeff is going to come in. Les Miserables.
Isn't it Les Miserables?
It's Les Miserables. The Miserable in French is the translation.
Oh. Why don't we just say less miserable then?
It's based off a book that's like that thick. And I've read half of it. It's just a lot. Victor Hugo wrote it.
You mean you don't want to sit down one day and just...
It's not a light read.
It's
you not Harry Potter, no.
Oh, I'm not a Harry Potter reader, personally.
Harry Potter was fun. So, like, yeah, it was like, you know, we did it, and there was a bunch of people in it, and it was huge. It was a huge production. Diane Tavo directed it.
Who?
Diane Tavo. I don't know if you know Diane. She was...
I entered the game now a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Diane was a lady that came to us, and I met her at a Steel Magnolias audition when I was directing Steel Magnolias.
Hey, Varsity has auditions for that tonight, right now.
They do.
So, by the time this is out, the show might have been performed already.
So, yeah, it was... that was the first show, and then after that, it just kind of kept going. It was like... Barb and Gary Segretario are the owners of it, and they.
Wait, is it Segretario?
Segretario.
I thought it was Surgeon Tino.
No. Segretario.
Segretario.
Yes, Barb and Gary Segretario were the producers and the owners of Skyline, and they were like, "Hey, we want to keep doing this," and then. It's never stopped. Like, they just kept doing shows and shows and...
Oh, I can't believe that I've been saying it wrong this entire time.
I can.
What does that mean?
I could believe that you were saying it wrong.
Why would you believe that?
Because...
What are you saying, Derek?
I'm not saying anything.
What are you implying?
I'm not implying anything. Anyhow.
And that's Derek. Thank you for being here. No, but so you said you just guys kept going and going and going and going.
Kept going, and I mean we've done on an average 2 to 3 shows a year since then. A wide variety of different things.
Yeah, I know. My first Skyline show was Hunchback in 2022, and I was just choir. Yeah. And then after that,
I loved that show.
It was a good show.
Great show.
It was fun.
It's a beautiful show.
That was when I first met Jeff, because it was after a tech for one day, and I said, hey, I heard you need help with Beauty and the Beast. And so then I did that, and that was my leeway into creative. So lesson learned. Reach out. Yeah. But and then then we did Little Shop, and Jeff texted me and he actually asked me at rehearsal for creative, and was like, do you want to be a plant operator? And I said, yeah. And then doing that led into doing tiny roles throughout the show. That made me that got me closer to like meeting you and Jeff even more, and Braden and Lauren, all of them. Mm-hmm. And then, what was Oklahoma? Was Oklahoma next? Mm-hmm. Oklahoma.
No. Yeah.
Was Oklahoma?
Jekyll and Hyde was in there somewhere.
No.
Jekyll and Hyde was before.
Jekyll and Hyde was before Hunchback, I thought.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay. Yes, yeah. And then, so it was Oklahoma next, right? Mm-hmm. Cause I know I did Oklahoma was a hard time, because I did Footloose at McLeod the weekend before. Mm-hmm. And then Rocky, and then there's not a spring show right now, so, yeah, whole year. I'm a seasoned baby. Yeah. So have you like worked on every single Skyline show since it's been a thing, or
In some form of, yeah. I mean, there's been times when I just did the music. Brandon directed
Avenue Q, right?
Avenue Q and Adam's Family.
Oh, okay.
I think we were the first group to do Adam's Family.
I know a lot of areas, a lot of people have done it
But
now.
I think we were the first back like years ago.
Yeah.
He did that. He did Avenue Q. I did the music and the orchestra.
Now, were you guys the first to do Avenue Q also,
Yeah,
or
I think so.
so Skyline just like first?
Yeah, to some point. Hunchback had happened before. Little Shops happened before.
Yeah. Has
Oklahoma's happened. Anything Goes has happened. We did.
Was Rocky the first?
Yes.
And it's like it's the only one around Southern Illinois that does
it
it.
has happened before, but it wasn't a live production. It was a shadow cast, or they showed the movie and people dressed up and acted in front of the movie.
Oh, but this was the first
This was the first time
picture live.
like when it was actual people dancing, singing, live orchestra.
Yeah.
Versus the shadow cast, which is them just mouthing the words
Yeah.
in front of the screen. It was the first time that a live production of that it was done.
Yeah.
That's why we always titled it Rocky Horror Show Live.
Yeah. Well, is that? I thought that was the actual like name of the.
No, it's just Rocky Horror Show.
Oh.
The staged version. It was a staged version first.
Oh.
Then it became a movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Adam. What did I say?
Robert.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
What did I say? Adam. Tim Curry was the original. He originated the role on stage, and then when they made the movie, Tim Curry came into the movie.
Oh.
So it was a movie. It was a movie after the fact. It was a staged version.
And then the movie just made it
Even
branch out. Okay. 'Cause I know first time I ever heard about it was whenever cause I think I heard before I started doing local theater. I think I remember hearing a word of it, like someone was doing Rocky. First time I ever seen it, never seen the movie, was 2022 when you guys did it. When you guys did it, and that was I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, I will be the first one to admit that I never grew up with Rocky. So
Yeah.
when it was brought into the picture, I remember watching it like once or twice back in my college days. We would watch it, and I always remember going, "What is that?" And then I was introduced to it, brought into it. I was in it, and it completely changed once I was in it.
Because then I feel like it's so much more fun being in it.
It's just I can't understand. It is fun. The following that it has behind it is what always amazes me.
Like how many people? I know I remember
People bring their kids that have been fans, and their kids bring their kids.
Yeah, because I know I this year I was a Phantom my first year, and so you go out and write V's on people who have never seen it before in lipstick. And I remember talking to people. The furthest I remember someone saying they drove from like that's like Kansas City, Missouri.
There's not many productions of it that go up that are actual live.
Yeah.
It's usually a shadow cast. Every time that I've heard something in the area, it's never a live production.
Yeah.
Fully staged, full
on musical.
It's always there's some type of modification with it. And
yeah.
So I think that's a draw for it.
And I know, like, going to SIU, I'm a BFA at SIU right now, talking to some like people there, like, a lot of them, like, it's weird because half the students at BFA for SIU, it's either they go every year or they've never gone. And once me and Bella Morris were both BFAs at SIU, when we were in the show, both our first times, then everyone at SIU went, and they all said that they're all going to go back next year because they loved it. It was such a fun show. Yeah.
And the pull of the audience, it always amazes me when I see people, because I mean, I've directed it, I've music directed it,
You've done everything.
I've even choreographed. I mean, it's been 12 years in the making.
Yeah.
Going on 12 years in the making. I've been in it. I've been Riff Raff 6 or 7 times.
Because your last time was the 10-year anniversary, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because that was the one I saw.
Yes. Yes. But, and so I've done a little bit of everything in it, but I always get to see, like, the audience.
Yeah.
Especially, like, directing it and doing orchestra, stuff like that. It's seeing the people that come that are regulars.
You would never think would come.
Or there's some people that show up in full costumes and I had never seen that side of them before.
Yeah.
And then they're the first ones up dancing, like... It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And fun to see the depth that it
Pulls and brings, yeah. Cause I remember whenever I did V, people I haven't seen for years, people that dropped out I haven't seen since sophomore year of high school, or people that my mom is best friends with. I'm signing V's, and all of a sudden I'm signing V on someone I knew since kindergarten or whatnot.
Yeah, there's a guy that I can't think of his name right now, but I know him. He always comes. There's two guys. The one that he has been to every show. Not like every show, but like every
Pretty
year,
much.
And he always dresses up like Frank. And he's getting up there in his age, but he's always there every single year and ready to go. Like, it's his favorite thing.
Like Jared? Jared Garrison?
What about Jared?
I didn't know that I met him during Little Shop, and I remember I haven't seen him in months, and then I just see him full costume.
That's the first time I think he's dressed up for it.
Like
I don't know how many times he's actually been to it.
I mean, he was like full on there, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. But this guy, he's at every show. He always takes pictures with everybody. There is another guy that comes to other shows. He'll come to other Civic Center shows, and every time he sees me, he's always like, "You doing it again this year?"
Yeah.
And then he's been to every Rocky show, and he's now started coming to every Skyline show. When he finds out who's involved with it, it's
he's just become a Skyline fan.
I guess, yeah.
Start a patron.
Right.
Patron's in link in the description, by the way. Patreon.anything and everything / so saying exactly what you did. Boom. Merch also available.
Sure.
You gonna buy my hat?
I don't wear hats.
You gonna buy my mug?
I got too many mugs.
You gonna buy my bag?
Your people talk to my people.
I also sell baby clothes too. Yeah.
Definitely don't need that. But no, it's been fun. We've done so many things that we were talking like first times. I remember we did a Green Day's American Idiot.
Yeah.
Which never gets done.
No.
I remember doing that. I just did the music for that. But we've had opportunities to be the firsts
for a lot of stuff,
or just being able to be not just the first to do it in the area, but maybe like the first to produce a show that hasn't been done as like a community children's group, because we have two community groups in the area that are based for children.
Then we have
high school,
every college,
and then your colleges. But there's been shows that we've been able to do that had not been done by an adult cast. And when I say adult cast, like we typically
like high school and up.
Yeah, we typically try to do our auditions with 16 years old and up. So there's been shows.
Because is Rocky 18 to audition, or is it 17?
It is 17 and a parent's signature.
Okay.
Because there's the content for that show.
It's a bit rough.
And we have to put that disclaimer up for the show when you buy tickets and stuff. But it's just been. I mean, we've done a vast variety of things. I mean, there was one show that I was not anything. I was the Beast, and we did Beauty and the Beast.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't, and I just auditioned. Like I didn't.
So say the next show you didn't want to help at all. You don't have to direct or anything like that.
I don't if I don't want to.
Yeah. So is it all volunteer for you, or is it a job for you? Like is it a side gig?
Yes and no. I mean, it's not like a full on job.
Well, no, but is it like a season job? Like kind of like whenever you guys are doing a show, is it like a side hustle for you, or?
I think that word side hustle.
Or like a side gig, or do you know what I mean? Kind of like it's just another.
I mean, we're compensated.
Yeah.
For the work that we do.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was like.
But I'm not like buying cars and stuff. I always tell people if you are involved in theater, you need to get with the program real quick to understand that you
are making money.
Doing it for the love of it.
You're not doing it for money.
Because it's very few and far between being able to sustain yourself off.
That's one thing that a lot of people, whenever I'm sure you know this, like when you major in music or musical theater, you gotta have a backup plan just in case. Cause
I've been very fortunate to be able to do a variety of different things in the performing arts.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky about that.
Cause I know mine, like I still have years. I'm at the beginning of my career when I'm still in college. But I know for me, like, I don't really care, like, if it's musical theater. I'd love for it to be. I'd love to be able to be a famous music from an actor and make a career and everything like that. Fine, but I just would like to perform. Because like I know I'm mascot for a few places. I work behind stuff. That's really my thing. Is I don't really. I'd love to perform, obviously, but like if I can just.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into the directing thing until later.
Yeah.
I was performing.
So like speaking of like behind the scenes, if someone like wanted for Skyline, if someone wanted to like audition for it, how would that go?
You just find out when we're auditioning. We have a Facebook. Skyline has a Facebook page. It's Skyline Creek Productions. Easy to find. And you can.
It's a little like apartment on
like
a wave.
And there's like some waves.
Yeah.
Like they're waves.
I thought it was a whale when I first saw it.
Waves. It says Skyline Creek.
Image right here. It's gonna be right there.
Yeah, it's right there.
We got point two. You gotta make the magic happen. You got point two.
Yeah, like you could find us on. You could find us on a Facebook, and whenever auditions are announced for shows and stuff like that, it's always put on there. So you can find us, you could follow us, and then you can like.
Cause I know Southern Illinois Community Theater, it gets posted on that because Jeff runs that page.
There's a ton of those pages out there, and I feel like at one point there was a bajillion pages being built for good intentions, and then all of a sudden, the upkeep of it.
Oh yeah.
Started falling, and so there's more of them out there.
Well, I know the one that I use is the one that Jeff Bird manages. It's the Southern Illinois Community Theater. I don't know what the logo is. I don't know if there is a logo on there.
I think it's just red curtains or something like that. I don't know.
But so
no, like if we would post it on Facebook, and then anything that any of the production team is attached to they would post it on their own social media.
Yeah.
I
know a lot of like seasoned actors that do silent shows. They share it too and stuff like that.
It's shared a lot, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's like the Instagram account. I think Skyline has an Instagram account. Or is it? Yeah.
I had no idea there was one.
I don't manage that, so
Who manages it?
I know that when we did Rocky this past year, there was advertising and like media put out there, but I thought it was on Instagram by Vinny. Or was that was Instagram? Was it TikTok?
No, it wasn't TikTok. Maybe it was Instagram.
I don't manage it, but I know that there is a page because we used it a little bit when we did Joseph.
That was in 2019, right? 2020.
It was right before the world shut down.
That's what my show was. My freshman year of high school, we were doing Shrek. The opening night was the night that our superintendent was like, shut it down. And we were like, I remember my director, Madame, she was like, no, we get one show.
Yeah, it was right before, because I remember doing the show and leading up to that show in the months of January and February, people were getting sick. We were having people in the cast get sick.
So were you able to perform like all three?
We did the show, but I just remember at that point, people were getting sick, and it was like, it
was a cold. It wasn't COVID.
My mom couldn't come and see the show because she got really sick.
And she just had a really bad sinus, cold.
She went to the doctors for hers, and so like
she just had a really bad cold. She didn't have COVID.
They did a test on her, and I remember her telling me they did this test on me, and I'd never seen, because she worked in the health field.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'd never seen a test like this done on anybody before, and it was the swabbing thingy.
Oh, like the nose brain one?
They did that on her because she was like, I've never seen that done.
So this was before she
thinks that she had COVID at that point.
So it was your mom that spread it to all of us.
Maybe it was. Yeah.
It was.
In Tennessee, so I don't think it made it to here. But people were starting. There were people that kind of got flu symptoms, and we were having to make sure people were taking care of themselves. But we were able to get through that show, and then after the show was over, me and Jeff and Clint went on vacay for Jeff's birthday, and we went to Las Vegas. And at that point, it was like everybody was like, "We don't know what's going on."
It was low key.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know what's going on right now. Everything is fine. Look over there. So like we went to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And Las Vegas was dead. Because at that point, things were starting to pick up and people were starting to talk. It was on the news. It was
But
like,
nothing was shut down
and
yet.
This was close to like St. Patty's Day.
Oh, so this was like a week or two before. Boom.
Well, we were in Las Vegas. Nobody was there. It was actually fun because there was nobody.
No, but there was no lines. Yeah.
And so we saw like we had our shows booked and everything. They stayed at Paris Casino. I stayed at the Flamingo. First time staying at the Flamingo. It was nice. I got a good room.
You got a good broom.
I got a good room.
Oh, I was saying you got a broom.
I got a good room. And so we saw things started shutting down.
Like while you were there?
Yeah. Like I remember we watched RuPaul's Drag Race live in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful show. Go see it. We saw their last show. It was a Sunday night. We saw their last show, and the next day they shut down.
So what was that like? Like,
oh my god, it was scary.
Like seeing things shut down in front of you without an explanation.
It was scary. We went and saw. What else was I seeing? I saw Shania Twain and walked out. They should have shut that show down. They saw Cirque du Soleil's Oh. Which those went on. We saw Drag Race live on a Sunday night. Shut that show down. We got up. We went and saw. We went and saw the Tournament of the Kings production, which is like Medieval Knights, Medieval Kings, and the servers told us as we were leaving, this is the last show. They're shutting us down. And then we were at New York Resort eating, and the waiter told us that they are shutting. There's in Vegas. There's two companies: MGM Properties and Caesar.
That own all of
everything.
Yeah. And
so we were at New York, which is an MGM property, and it's a very fun place. There's a roller coaster. It goes outside. I love Las Vegas. By the way, it's an amazing place.
How many times have you been?
Too many.
This year, like in 2023, how many times were you there?
October. I only went one time in October. This past not yet. I mean, last year I always go for my birthday.
Yeah.
October, but I used
When's
to
your
go
birthday?
October 3rd.
What time?
What time?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
What place?
Tennessee.
What was your home address? What was your mother's maiden name?
I'm not telling you.
What's your social security number?
So like we were in Vegas and MGM. We were at the New York, and the bartender. We were eating at the Irish pub. I forgot what Nine Irishmen and stuff like that. It's amazing. We were eating at this Irish restaurant inside New York. And the guy was like, yeah, we just got the phone call that MGM is shutting down their properties tonight.
Oh.
People have to leave. Like, you have to leave.
Like your hotel? You're gone?
Out. You have to leave.
Would they give, like refunds?
I don't know. And we were staying at Caesar's properties.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we haven't heard anything about Caesar's yet. And so I was like, ooh, okay. So we went back to our rooms. Jeff and Clint flew out a day before me. I stayed one more day.
Yeah. So
they flew out, and the announcement was made that day that Caesar's Properties is shutting their shows. They're shutting down their properties.
Yeah.
You have to leave. And then the next day I got up, checked out, went to the airport. Creepy. I got through security. There was nobody there. It was like zombie movie. There was nobody around. I stood at the gate, got there, sat down. There were 4 people on my flight. The Southwest dude came up and said, well, you guys are all that we have on this flight, so we're not even going to care. Go sit where you want to. We don't care what your number is, because in Southwest you get a number and you go in.
Yeah.
They were like, we don't care, just sit wherever you want to. There were like 4 of us on this flight.
Yeah.
To St. Louis.
Kind of whenever we flew back from Disney, it was hell in that airport. But
what was that? What was that reason? It was
It
was with holidays. It was the holidays. We left.
Yeah, but you said that you've never seen it like that.
Right. I'd never seen it like that. But again, it was the day after the day after.
I mean, getting through security took us 2 hours.
Yeah. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah. And I remember, there was only, 20 people on our flight?
No, there's more than that. Well, there was more than that, but...
But only people that were actually on the flight.
There were people missing the flight.
Yeah, there was only, 20 people actually on the flight?
No, there were more than that.
No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't.
We sent them back, and there was more than... I'd say there were probably 100 on that plane.
No way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
They're way.
No, there.
Anywho. So I got on my plane.
Does the plane even fit 100 people?
Yes, they seat like 200 and something.
There's no way there was 100 people on that flight, Derek.
They were more in the front.
Derek Matthew Hamblin. There was no way that there was more than 50 people on that flight.
We can agree to not disagree.
Okay.
Anyhow, I got on the plane. The dude's like, sit where you want. Here's your peanuts. And then we flew out.
Was it while you were in the air? Like the news came out, or
no? It was. That was already out.
Like COVID was the thing.
Yes, the news is already out. This is what's happening and blah blah blah. Because at that point, they'd already discovered what it was.
Oh, so this was like them giving like.
This was the national shutdown.
Oh, okay.
And so, everyone knew what it was.
So this was like you have like so many days until we're done.
Well, yeah, the Caesars property was like, we're closing our properties and you have to leave.
They didn't give you a warning. It was just bye.
They gave them about a day and a half warning because they had to shut down and they can't house you.
Yeah.
They were sending their employees away.
Yeah.
And I remember getting on the plane, peanuts, flying, slept, and then I got back to St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. My drive back from St. Louis
was peachy.
It was dead. And then
it was a zombie movie.
Yeah, and I remember it was like I stopped I went the back way through like Nashville.
Oh yeah,
I went the back way because I was like,
Nashville, Illinois, not Nashville, Tennessee.
I was going to stop at I don't know why I went that way. I don't know why.
It's quicker than going through Mount Vernon.
No, it would not for where I live though. I think it was because I was going to stop at Walmart and get some little groceries because Jeff was already home the day before, and he was like, you might want to stop and just maybe grab a couple things.
Yeah.
Of course, the great TP scare of COVID happened. I went in. I wasn't going and buying TP. I went in, and it was a madhouse. There were people grabbing stuff and running like.
So like Black Friday.
Yeah, it was worse. And then the dude was like, I hope you're not here for some TP. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
I got a few rolls.
I'm trying to get, like some beverages and some snacks.
That was crazy. Like, what? I don't know how. Of all things, toilet paper?
I know, right?
And it only lasted for like 3 weeks.
Well, the thing that always cracks me up is when there's like all those, oh my gosh, here comes Snowmageddon. And everyone goes out and buys all of the eggs, milk, and bread. It's gone. They buy it all. And my question is, like, what are you going to do if you get snowed in? Just make French toast? Is that all, you're just going to make French toast for like 8 days?
Mm-hmm.
Because that would kill me. That smell. I don't like the smell of skillets. So egg frying.
You don't like the smell?
Weird. I don't like it.
We're nose plugs.
Yeah.
Can you eat it? Like, can you eat it, or can you just not do the smell?
Eat it, yeah. Scrambled eggs is different. I can handle scrambled eggs, but like the fried egg, that skillet greasy smell, really.
Like, what do you think of scrambled eggs are? You skillet.
But it's I don't know. It's just different. I don't understand. I don't understand. The smell of pancakes being made, I can't take that smell. It's weird. I can eat them.
I'm gonna make a perfume of pancakes. I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm gonna have you smell it. And you're gonna
have to backhand you. It's just weird. I don't even like when you're like at Chili's or somewhere and someone gets that little sizzle and skillet thing and goes by, the fajitas.
The fajitas.
When they walk by with that that smell. I don't like that smell. I don't know why. I just don't. It doesn't mean it doesn't taste good. I just don't like the smell. But anyhow, what are they going to do? They bought all the eggs, milk, and bread, but they're just going to sit home and eat French toast forever?
So did you get your drink? Did you get your crush?
I just got like water and stuff, like sandwich meat, and it was like in my head I had that I felt like that was happening around me while I'm standing there with water.
Well, you're in slow mo. Everyone else is.
It was ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, I was, and then they shut the airports down after that, so I was like lucky to get out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vegas was so weird.
I just wonder what it would be like being in the air, going in the air as everything's open and landing.
It's closed.
Like, imagine being like.
It's kind of what it felt like.
Like, I just couldn't imagine like being like, say you're in France, everything's like, you're like, okay, I should probably go home now before everything goes down. Yeah. Going home, 13-hour flight, landing. You get there. Everyone has masks. Like, the world ended.
That's kind of what it felt like because I mean. Everyone knew what was going on with the media, but the closures was what was happening that was like really getting serious.
Yeah.
And then I went home. It was so weird. Like we got home, and after I got home, because of like things, no laws, but mandates that were coming out,
Oh.
I didn't go to work for a week.
Yeah.
Because they were like, well, we want you to stay home for a week to see if you're
And
sick.
that week turned into.
And then the next week when I was ready to go back to work, because I was fine when I was ready to go back to work the next week, that's when they shut the Civic Center down.
So how long were you not? So did you were they still paying you because you couldn't work, or was it no money at all?
It was they shut the Civic Center down, and
they're like, sorry.
Basically, we had to go to unemployment.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about unemployment. Yeah.
And we had to do that, and that was weird because I was just like, well, I never got to go back to work, and then everything just kind of went from there. We all know what happened after that. It was just I don't know how many months that was, but
well, I think it was a good feel.
The whole situation was just weird.
Yeah. So whenever they told you Civic Center shut down, did they say you still have a job, or was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like.
Oh no! It wasn't like you're done. No.
Cord cut.
No, it was like this is what the city's doing, like per the state.
Yeah.
Per. We're seeing what's going on. It's been so long. I just remember getting the call, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go back to bed.
You know what's crazy? That was 4 years ago.
I know.
That's crazy.
Really crazy.
I looked at it. 2014 was 10 years ago. Bruno Mars was 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's hard to believe that, 4 years ago, everyone was in their house eating bread and milk.
I honestly...
I watched so many movies.
Obviously it was a scary time, horrifying time. But the first part was horrifying because you didn't know what...
No one knew what was going on.
Yeah, but I feel like the second half was one of the easiest times there will ever be in my lifetime, unless it happens, because there was really no... I mean, because I was still a kid.
Yeah.
I was a freshman. But I even feel like for even adults, if you're on unemployment, guaranteed money, you don't have to work.
For so long.
I mean, yeah, but for a good few weeks, it was a vacation.
Getting it was hard. Because everybody in the world was trying... Well, I said the world. Just the process behind it was nerve-wracking. Because...
Well, I was living peachy as a freshman in high school, so... I was like, no school for 2 weeks? Hell yeah!
It was so strange. I mean,
I'll go across the street to school, get my little lunch bag that they provide. Hell yeah, thank you. Give me my Nintendo Switch. Let's play some Mario Kart. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I guess there's no silver lining about that situation because regardless of where you stand on your beliefs about that whole pandemic.
Yeah.
For me, I made the best out of the situation, especially being in the performing arts. It shut us down.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no way
can't exactly perform if no one there.
There was no Zoom show. There was nothing. It shut us down.
Yeah.
As a venue, as an actor, as a worker in the industry. I mean, completely stopped. And so the creativity, for people to get creative,
it went
you
boom.
had to think of things,
Yeah.
And I just remember I made my first cake. I baked. I actually filmed myself live.
Oh.
And I had some of my friends watching me because they thought it was hilarious because
on Facebook Live?
I made my first cake, yeah.
So tell me, if I go on your Facebook Live, Facebook videos... Ah, damn!
But I made my first cake, and it was not... it was a cake.
Did you eat it?
Some of it. It was a cake. I just wanted to bake, and I found out real quick that I don't like to bake.
Yeah.
It's messy. Everybody said, "Oh, baking's fun. Bake 'em." No, I want to put the icing on it.
You
That's the fun point. I don't want to bake it because all that flour and stuff gets everywhere. Oh, it's messy. I don't like all that.
Oh, it's messy.
And so I learned how to. I learned how to bake. I wasn't at Larry's house.
It's so funny, talking to you, because you just see your facial expressions. Seeing a camera from over there, that would be one thing. But seeing it right here, is seeing you... Can you just talk to the camera for a second?
I want to talk to the camera. So, yeah, I learned how to bake. And, I say learned how to bake loosely. I hated it. It was bad. So I did that. I didn't make my lasagna. I made a lasagna. It was fabulous. And I learned how to make an awesome grilled cheese because I'm not a really, really big cook.
Yeah.
But I did realize that, you put mayonnaise on your bread and then make your grilled cheeses that way. Instead of butter, you put mayonnaise on the bread. Try it. Game changer.
Game
Set
changer.
your soul free. So I mean, I realized I could do that, and then I remember watching movies, and I started doing like these marathons. Like me and Clint, I remember me and Clint, we watched all of the Annabelle movies.
Oh, I
And the best
hate
part-
the Annabelle
we
movies.
watched
Oh, I hate them.
They're freaky. Like a little kid.
That fucking
I
doll.
just remember like we had wine.
Ugh.
And then I remember we watched I watched all of these series that I'd seen before. Annabelle, I got to catch up on like movies that I forgot about. And then I got a new laptop, and I ordered an Audio M88 key controller, and that's when I started playing around with like recording music. And because that's the silver lining is because.
Because you record music, like, fairly often. The link in the bio.
Up here? Is that how it works? No? You can put it up here?
That will be for the end card. But you...
And so...
Whoa! Whoa!
So I learned...
No. You can't just say dead to me, then act like nothing's going on, buddy. Whose podcast is this? It is Nicholas Aaron Steinberger's podcast. I had this whole deal with Brandon. Did you watch that episode?
I have watched it.
Yeah, you got the whole thing. Defending Your Podcast, part 25 with Nick Steinberger. Okay, I'm back. What were you saying?
So I started playing around with like recording, and so I learned a lot through that, and also with doing that. I mean, I was like recording everything because I had nothing else to do, and so I remember I have like a hard drive full of full musicals and full like orchestrations for these musicals, like the whole show. I have like almost 200 gigs of just PDFs, full shows, and they're all cataloged and filed. And I mean, there it is. So I remember like I recorded the entire score of Rent, the entire score. When I say from beginning to end, and I played all the instruments.
Every single one?
Yeah.
And you just combine them all?
Yeah, because it was like recording in the studio, but it was in my bedroom, and so like I recorded.
Your bedroom's huge.
Yeah, it is.
You got a big bedroom.
So I recorded like Rent. I recorded the entire soundtrack to Jesus Christ Superstar using the tour orchestrations, and then I would have. And I also with doing that, I started like recording like covers of songs, my own versions of songs.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do like hard, loud recording in my house. I would go to my office here in Carbondale at the church that I do the music for because no one was there. Like church was shut down.
Yeah.
So,
but you still got that key. So
yeah, so no one was there. So I would drive from my house to Carbondale and go to my office and stay in there for hours. And I converted my office into this little recording studio. And I would do my live vocals in there. I would do like any of my like saxophone, horn, flute, stuff like that I was recording. I would do there. And then it just kept going. And then eventually I started having my friends come in. So like with Rent, I was like, I can make my own cast recordings because I was bored. And I had people come in and say, well, we started doing Rent. And we started doing Jesus Christ Superstar. So I had Brandon came in and was like singing the role of Jesus, recording it. I was doing Judas, Levi Titsworth, which is no longer here. He's in Florida. He did like Simon. So I was like, it was kind of like you were cast as a character, and then we just came and sang. Did the same thing with Rent. And then it became. I have on my SoundCloud account. It actually is really cool. I recorded the entire orchestration for Freak Flag from Shrek.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And so...
And you had a ton of people.
Yeah, I had like so many people come in and just do their part, and then I mixed it all together to sound like...
have them come in for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and so I learned how to do that. It kept getting better. And I have to say, some of the songs that I've covered on there, I think they sound good for me doing it without a big studio. And then like, I also got better as a musician. Because I was playing a lot. I was playing piano a lot. And I got better as a player and reading and stuff. So that was the good part about being locked in and making grilled cheeses.
Yeah. Well, That we covered a lot, and there's still so much more that we can cut. We didn't talk about Disney.
Disney's amazing.
We didn't talk about Disney. Fun fact: Derek and Jeff are Disney, like the Disney adult.
I think Jeff's more, but
Okay, that's another episode. We're not getting into that because one thing I've learned about Derek is you get him talking about something. Hold on tight because you're not going anywhere. So, but yeah, I'm sure I'll have you back on at some point. Well, thanks for coming on. Now we get to record Derek's time.
Are we going to do that?
Yeah, we're recording Derek's time.
Okay.
Okay, well, thanks for being on, Derek. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I really hope you stayed recording. Yes. What percent are you on? 14.
Oh, you have plenty of time.
Yeah.